This is Thomas at LifterLMS. Today is Tuesday, March 15th, 2016, and we have just released version 2.2.2 of LifterLMS. It's a pretty exciting number because it's got 3 2s in it. It's a relatively small release. We've got mostly bug fixes and some updates to our translation files. I'd like to give a shout out to, and I'm going to butcher your name, I apologize, it's Andrea, something very Italian sounding. Details are in the call notes. The video notes, the blog post here. But he works with a team called, again, Codeat maybe. I'm not sure. It's codeat.co. They're a team of developers that has graciously translated the entire core of LifterLMS into Italian. So thanks to them. In the near future, we have a pending German translation from another team. We'll be noting them probably in our next release sometime next week or in the next couple of weeks. But for now, I just wanted to walk through the couple updates and features. Well, actually, no new features, just updates to existing features that are in version 2.2.2. Mainly, we worked on a lot of just updates around quizzes. We've received notes from a lot of you guys, or a couple of you guys, and our internal QA team determined that we really recently, we think 2 releases back, created some new issues in relationship to quizzes. Occasionally, quizzes would never complete. You'd get to the end of a quiz, and rather after completing that complete quiz button, nothing would happen. You just get on a hung screen. So we had some JavaScript issues that we've sorted out and resolved. We rewrote our timing functions. So you'll see here, I've taken a bunch of quizzes that took me 5 or so seconds. It used to only support minutes. We now support minutes and seconds, hours. So anything under 90 seconds will display seconds. 90 seconds and over will say 1 minute and 35 seconds. And then I believe the next breakpoint is an hour. So from a minute and a half up to an hour, it'll read minutes and seconds. Over an hour, we ignore the seconds and we output, say, 1 hour and 45 minutes or something along those lines. If you're issuing quizzes that are over a day, it's going to say 25 hours. I don't imagine anybody's ever going to hopefully you're not issuing quizzes that take your users more than a day. But if you are and you've got an issue with the way we're handling it, please submit a support request and we'll try to help you find a workaround for that niche situation. So anyway, those are more accurate. We also determined that we were using 2 different gate functions. One was running off server time. One of them was running off your WordPress UTC offset time. So some of our date calculations, if you were utilizing that UTC offset, was incorrect every time you'd take a quiz. So you'd have these really absurd numbers like 4,000 minutes. So those were kind of a couple issues coupling on top of each other, creating some real problems. But we've resolved all that, and hopefully everything is working more normally. There's no migration process. We've just fixed some things in the code base. So as soon as you update to 2.2.2, your quizzes will start working better. I also just wanted to note a quick addition where a lot of people have been asking for the ability to put HTML into their questions. So if you're looking over here, I've got this quiz open. This is the correct answer, but we've highlighted some important data. So we're not adding a fully functioning WordPress editor here, mainly because there's a lot involved in doing that, and we didn't want to incur the overhead because only a small group of people have asked for this feature. But we wanted to make it possible. So you can now output valid HTML in here. So one of the use cases was to have an image as the answer to a quiz. So you can now do that. You're going to need to write a little bit of HTML, but as a WordPress administrator, you should know a little bit of HTML anyway. If you have some questions on how to do that kind of stuff, please submit a support request. We'll provide you with some quick HTML snippets on how to do that kind of stuff. But for now, know that you can put some valid HTML into your quiz questions, and it'll output on screen. I'm going to choose the correct answer now and just walk through the quiz. Now, what was happening previously, and one of the issues I noted before, was that if you hit this complete button, occasionally the data would not save and you would just get hung on the loading next question. You'd never get to your quiz results screen. We've addressed that, so now you do get your quiz results. You'll see here we've got our Total time, 1 minute, 16 seconds. I guess I misspoke. I thought it was 90 seconds or less, said 90 seconds, but maybe it's 60 seconds or less. I should read my developers commit notes a little bit more carefully next time. The other thing I just wanted to clear up while we're talking about, this isn't a new feature, but this results screen, we're kind of working internally to figure out how to make this a little bit more usable. This will display either your best score or your most recent score, depending on the scenario. And the rules for how it displays that are really kind of confusing. We haven't adjusted it yet, and I don't have a great explanation for why, but that's the way it is. So some people have identified that this will say 100% after somebody failed a quiz. And that would be because their best score is 100%. Since I just took this quiz, it's 98. That's my most recent score. And again, the rules are kind of silly. So we're going to work on some updates to this interface in a future release. But for now, we were just ironing out some bugs, not really doing any new features. So those are kind of the quiz things. A couple other notable bug fixes in here, and you could read the full release notes anytime you want. But we've fixed a couple issues related to how site-wide restrictions were handled. Somebody identified about a week or so ago that if you restrict your entire website to a membership and then make your users agree to a terms and conditions agreement using the LifterLMS option to do so, you can't actually view that terms and conditions that you're agreeing to. So we've created a bypass for that. So whatever's selected as that terms and conditions page is automatically unrestricted. So your users can actually read what they're agreeing to. We fixed some templating issues related to our last certificates update in 2.2.1. We fixed a couple other small restriction issues that had to do with how individual lessons were restricted to a membership level. Now that actually shouldn't be necessary. It's kind of a holdover that we've never removed from the plugin that was added as a Band-Aid. But there was an issue where if you restricted a lesson to a membership level and then were granted access to that membership level, you weren't actually able to access that lesson. So we've addressed that issue, and in the future, we're probably going to be removing the ability to restrict a lesson altogether, because it's frankly not necessary. Restrictions would happen on course level. We've done a little bit of work with our compatibility with the Divi theme. Everybody loves the Divi theme. We have a love-hate relationship with it because it's really a complex theme. But somebody identified an issue with the way the My Account screen was working on the Divi theme. We resolved that issue. So if you were encountering Divi issues, we apologize. We have some more fixes related to Divi slated to come in the near future, and we'll, of course, let you know when that stuff comes out. Other than that, there's just some cleanup, a couple CSS tweaks and things like that. Nothing tremendously exciting, but we're always working to make improvements. So, of course, keep your feedback coming. Please update to the latest version of LifterLMS, and as always, please back up your site and your database and everything before running the updates. If you have a staging site, please update in staging first. That's the best practice for any plugin, LifterLMS included. So thank you for your support, and please keep letting us know what you want us to do in LifterLMS. Have a great day.